Hello YouTube, NYC for Andy here. Today is Tuesday, August 4th. The grand tournament will be released in about 2-3 weeks. Thinking about the last week of August. Word is that's going around in the community is it's going to be around the 23rd, 24th, something like that. Well, anyway, there have been about 40 cards released so far, and I'm just putting them all together in one video because if you're anything like me, you hate just finding a video of 5 or 6 cards. So here, this is all 40 of them that were released so far, just in one video. Please bear with me. It is, some of them are, you know, have been reviewed before, but they're in alphabetical order, so I'm just going. So let's start. First card up, we have Argent Horse Rider. It's a 3 mana, 2/1 charge and divine shield. I really don't see that being played that much. One class that probably would like it would be Hunter, but Hunter already has the Wolf Rider. And possibly work in Arena maybe, but I don't know, I don't care for it. Alright, we have the Argent Watchman, a 2 mana, 2/4 that can't attack. And if you use your hero power, you could attack this turn as normal. It possibly can have some uses if you play that and then silence it or something, or let's say you're playing Paladin and you play that and then you play your hero power to get, you know, the 1/1 guy, and then you use that to clear off their board or something. You know, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. It's just, I don't know. For the stats, it's very good, but just the can't attack unless you use your hero power kind of holds it back a little. Then we have Ball of Spiders. I really don't see this getting played much at all. I really don't. This is, a Web Spinner is a 1 mana card, and then they're charging 6 mana for it. And last I checked, Hunters don't usually play anything over 5 cost. You know, if they're even a mid-range Hunter, the highest thing will be, it was like the Savannah Highmane. And I'm pretty sure if you ask any Hunter, what would you rather have, a Savannah Highmane or a Ball of Spiders? They're going to go with the Highmane. Then we have the Clockwork Knight. What's to say? They made a mech and they made a stronger mech. A lot of the mechs are small little garbage. Zooey rush your opponent's face. This one, I like it. It's a 5 mana, 5/5. If you have another mech, that other mech gets +1/+1. So if you think about it, it's like 5 mana, and it's got 6/6 worth of stats, which is very good. I like it, and it's got the whole mech synergy. Then we have the Koldara Drake, another mage card that's possibly going to be OP as fuck. You could use your hero power any number of times, so I could just imagine the turn 9 Koldara Drake, freeze, Frost Nova, and then just next turn just ping, 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 ping. Then we have the Coliseum Manager, which is what, 20 dust? I don't know. It's a 3 mana, 2/5, and if you use your hero power, it goes back to your hand. So the only way I see that working is if you're playing something super cheesy, where you play that, attack an enemy minion, and then return it to your hand to heal it, and then play it again. But even so, it seems like too much for what it is. Alright, here we go. We have a Crowd Favorite. Whenever you play a card with Battle Cry, gain +1/+1. Now this sounds a lot like the Undertaker, but the only difference here is that they made this a 4 cost. Thank God they did not make this a 1 cost. Apparently they learned from their mistakes that if they would have made this a 1 mana 1/1 or whatever that gains +1/+1 with every Battle Cry, yeah, it'd be a new fucking Undertaker. But this is a 4 mana 4/4, and whenever you play a card with Battle Cry, so at least that 4 mana, you know, your opponent can deal with it. They should have something on the board, because there are a lot of cards with Battle Cry. If you think about it, any card you play either has Battle Cry or Death Rattle. So I don't know, this might make some type of interesting deck. If you combine that with the Undertaker, you'll have like Death Rattle in the early game and then Battle Cry in the late game. So I don't know. And then we have Darnassus Aspirant. 2 mana, 2/3, and has a Battle Cry of gain an empty mana crystal, and a Death Rattle of destroy one of your mana crystals. So this card actually, you know, it seems pretty useless. Not useless, useful. You know, if you're playing a druid, then you play this. Let's say you get the coin, you go second, and you get this in your opening hand. You know, you coin, play this, and then your next turn you're gonna have 3 mana crystals, and there's a good chance your opponent won't be able to deal with this on turn 2. You know, so I think this is gonna be a pretty good card. This might actually go and replace one of like it could, depending on how well it works, because in theory it works well. It could go to replace Wild Growth. I don't know. All I know is in Arena that's going to be an excellent card, because Arena usually starts off slow anyway. So if you go second and you have this in your hand and you have the coin, Darnassus, turn 2 is really going to be turn 3, so you can be able to play it at 3-drop, and then by the time this thing is dead, it doesn't matter because you already have something bigger in play. And then we have Demon Fuse. Give a demon +3/+3. Give your opponent a mana crystal. I don't know why. I really don't. I'm speechless with this. It's going to be garbage. It's not going to be garbage. It is garbage. Yeah. Give a demon +3/+3. Give your opponent a mana crystal. I don't even know why they made that, because it makes no sense. Give your opponent a mana crystal. If you're going to give your opponent a mana crystal, then this should at least cost 1. That's it. Just make it a 1 cost. Give a demon +3/+3. Give your opponent a mana crystal. You know, because at least then it would, you know, you could play it with something possibly. But what are you going to do? You know, if this costs 1, let's say give your opponent a mana crystal, right? Let's say if it costs 1 and its thing was give your opponent a mana crystal. So that means turn 1, you play Flamelip. Turn 2, you play Demon Fuse. So your 3/2 becomes a 6/5 on turn 2, and your opponent gets an extra mana crystal. That would be good. Although even though it's still the same thing. It's garbage. It's just dust. And then here we go. We have a Draenei Totem Carver. Battle Cry is gain +1/+1 for each friendly totem. So it looks like Shaman is getting some well-deserved cards. I mean, the card, it's a 4 mana 4/4, so even if it's silenced, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it is good enough that, let's say, even if you get 1 totem out, I mean, it becomes a 4 mana 5/5, which is very good. Alright, here's another Druid card. Druid of the Saber. Choose 1. Charge or +1/+1 and stealth. So it could become a 3/2 stealth or a 2/1 charge. Which, you know, it seems fair. A 2/1 charge, 3/2 stealth. 3/2 stealth seems a little bit OP though, because usually they value the attack stats more than the defense. But the Giblin Stalker, or the Gilbin Stalker, is a 2/3 for 2 with stealth. But anyway, at least Druid has some early game now. Here we go. Effigy, a mage secret. Whenever a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with that same cost. This can be good depending on the type of mage you're playing. But with the mages that are out now, mostly mech mage garbage, it won't see much play, but maybe someone will try and build a deck around it, because if you throw in, like, let's say Antonitis is what, a 7-drop, or Dr. Boom, so granted it would be like a turn 10 combo, but still they kill Antonitis and you get another 7-drop. You know, it does seem, it seems good, but it's just, you got to find some way to use it. Here we go. We have a neutral legendary, Edius Darkbane. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. That's going to be a priest card. That's going to be a priest card. You can see that in like every priest deck around. You're going to see a priest play like Power Word Shield, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, the lens on this, and they're just going to keep doing it and doing it. It's going to be another. It's going to be in like a lot of priest decks. I could see it now. It's just going to annoy the shit out of people. Then we have a mage card, a 2-mana 3/2. Your hero power deals 1 extra damage. While it's not the greatest, it's not the worst. It's average on stats for 2-mana 3/2. In Arena, it probably can be a little bit good. Because figure you play that on turn 2. Let's say you're going first, you play that on turn 2. Your opponent has nothing. They play something with 2 health. Then instead of having to trade this off, you could ping it and, you know, gain value. Ping it, kill it, because your hero power would do 2 damage instead of 1, and then you can go face with this, and then same thing with the next turn. They play another minion with, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say they play the Yeti 4/5, right? You'd ping it and then trade this into it, and you're getting value out of that. Okay, here we go. We have Fajola Lightbane. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, gain Divine Shield. Again, it's going to be in a lot of priest decks. This one and the other one, the Darkbane, are going to be in a lot of priest decks. You're going to see Power Word Shielding and Valensing. Just imagine that, a priest playing this, and then Valens chosen. Then this thing suddenly becomes, what, a 5/7? Or 5/9, something like that. No, oh, wait, I can't even do the math. 5/8. There we go. 5/8. Right, Valens is +2/+4. Yeah, a 5/8 Divine Shield, spell damage +1. Yeah, on turn 4. This is going to be definitely priest. You're going to see a lot of priests playing that. That's all I know. And then here we go. We have another card, the Flame Juggler. And it's got a battle cry of deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Okay, it's not the worst, but it's not the greatest. I do like that they're trying, and that they didn't make another Knife Juggler. This is just the Flame Juggler. It's just a 1-shot deal. So unless you're playing like Rogue, where you Shadow Step it back to your hand, or you like Panda it back 50 times, but even so, it's not going to be worth it. It does have potential. It's not the worst 2-drop, but it's not the best. I think it would be a decent card in Arena, especially in those classes that could do 1 damage, like druids and rogues and all that. Because let's say they hit a 2 health minion with this, and then they use a hero power. Alright, here we go. Flame Lance, a 5-mana mage spell that deals 8 damage to a minion. All I could say is thank God they did not make that 8 damage to anything. Right? Just imagine how OP that would be if they could target anything. If basically this would become the new Fireball. That would suck ass. But no, they could only target a minion. So for 5 mana, I really don't see this being played much, because what minions really have 8 health? I really don't see it being played much. In theory, it's good, deal 8 damage to a minion, but it just seems like a lot of overkill, considering like the average thing has like 3 or 4 health. Alright, and then we have the Frost Giant. Costs 1 for each time you use your hero power this game. 10 mana, 8/8. So they added a new giant. I'm glad to see it. It doesn't seem too terrible. This is more of a late game card. There's no way you could sneak this out on turn 4 or anything. But even if you hero power every turn, you know, you'd probably lose the game if you just all you're doing is hero powering every turn. But it's still good. It'll probably usually end up costing an average around 5 or 6 mana. But still, 5 or 6 mana for an 8/8, that's a very good deal. And then we have Garrison Commander. 2 mana, 2/3. You can use your hero power twice a turn. So this would go great with that last card, the Frost Giant, because hey, you get it out twice as fast. 2 mana, 2/3. This can be like an excellent card in Arena. Just, you know, imagine if you're a paladin summoning 2 guys each turn, especially if you're running low on minions. But I do see this being played a lot. This is going to be a lot in Hunters too. It's going to be like a turn 6 play where they fucking pull some horse shit out their ass. Like they'll play this and then they'll what is it? Fucking use the hero power, the steady shot, steady shot. And we have a priest card, the Holy Champion, which a lot of people call the Medium Warden. Whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. Yeah, I'm not excited to see this. I think priests are strong enough as it is. And it's got to have 5 health. Of course it has to have 5 health. It couldn't have 4 health. That means that they can play this, play the fucking Akanai Soul Priest, and then fucking heal everything for 4. Or actually damage everything for 4, and this shit would still live. But yes, it does seem like a very strong card, especially if you're a priest, because every time your opponent has to basically one-shot this. If your opponent doesn't kill this, then they basically lose the game, because you'll go attack one of their minions with this, and then you'll heal it back up, and it'll gain another 2 attack, and then it just, the cycle just continues and continues. And here we go. Neutral Legendary, 6 mana, 6/3. Battle Cry: replace your starting hero power with a better one. This might see a lot of play actually, because the hero power upgrades are just, they're much better. It basically doubles whatever it does now. Like, the only one I don't think that gets doubled is the Shaman and the Hunter. So it makes the Hunter power, hero power, do 3 damage instead of 2 damage. The Priest do 4 damage, restore 4 health instead of 2. The Mage, it does double damage, you know, 2 fireballs, not 2 fireballs, 2 damage fireball, or fire blast, whatever it is. I think the Paladin is summon 2 1/1 recruits. The Rogue is summon, equip a 2/2 dagger, which is kind of shitty when you think about it. But hey. And then, oh, what else is there? The Shaman, I think you can get to choose a totem, or it picks a random totem. And it's like any random totem, but yeah. And then the Druid is +2 attack, +2 armor. So this card can be a game changer. But definitely wanting people to use hero powers more. King's Defender. This is a warrior weapon, 3/2, 3 mana, 3/2. And if you have a minion with taunt, you gain +1 durability. So I don't really know that many warriors that run taunt. This probably could be more of a late game card. Figure if they have like a Sludge Belcher or something out. Yeah, that's the only thing I could really think. Oh, the Sludge Belcher or the Dread Corsair. You know, if you have a Dread Corsair out and then you play this, it becomes a 3 attack, 3 health weapon. So yeah, you can get a lot of value out of that. Alright, and then we have the Coda Rider, 6 mana, 3/5. And It's got Inspire. So if you use your hero power, you summon a 3/5 War Kodo. So figure it's an 8 mana for 2 3/5s, which is pretty good. 8 mana for 2 3/5s, and yeah, that's pretty much that. It just seems too slow. That's all. I mean, it can see a lot of play in decks, but still, combine this with the card that you could use your hero power twice on a turn, and yeah. Then we have a hunter card. For each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random hunter card to your hand. You know what? I can see this getting played. A lot of people aren't thinking too highly of it, but I could see this getting played a lot. Because if you think about it, each time you cast a spell this turn, and there are a lot of fucking hunter spells out, especially cheap ones. So let's see, like Freeze Trap, Unleash the Hounds, fucking Lock and Load. So what is that? That's a turn 7 combo. You know, play Lock and Load, Freeze Trap, Unleash the Hounds. They play 2 cards and then they get 2 cards back. So yeah, I can imagine this working very well. And then it says it adds a random hunter card to your hand. So that can be a spell or it can be a minion. So for all you know, you can get fucking King Crush out of this shit, just like the web spinner, and just beat your opponent into the ground. And then we have the Lowly Squire, another neutral card. So 1 mana, 1/2, and it inspires gain +1 attack. So let's see. This would probably be a great arena card, because if you don't have a 2-drop and you do get this and you play it turn 1, you play this. Turn 2, you hero power, and then this becomes a 2/2. And even better if you have one of those classes that your hero power does damage, because then you can trade. Other than that, I really don't see too much out of it, but I see it does have potential. I have a feeling this is probably going to be in a zoo card, a zoo deck. Someone's going to make it work somewhere. Maiden of the Lake, 4 mana, 2/6. Your hero power costs 1. Not 1 less, just 1. So you can't get that bullshit where you double this and you get free hero powers. No, your hero power costs 1. 4 mana, 2/6. So the stats are horrible, but the hero power and costing 1 that's pretty good. It has enough health where it can survive pretty much all the AoEs. So yeah, this is going to be like a threat that your opponent will have to deal with. So, which is nice, and it's not overpowered, because usually for 4 mana, you get like a 3/5 or something. I think the Fen Creeper is 5 mana, 3/6. But yeah, it seems alright. Then we have Master of Ceremonies, 3 mana, 4/2, and it's got a battle cry. If you have a minion with spell damage, gain +2/+2. This I could see fitting in a lot of decks, because at 3 mana, 6/4, that's fucking ridiculous. A 3 mana, 6/4. A Volcanic Drake costs what, 6? And I think you can get it to 4 if you have like 2 things die. But a 3 mana, 6/4, this is gonna go great with like fucking what the fuck's his name? Bud Mage Thalmos. 3 mana, 6/4. I like it. And there are enough spell damage decks floating out there, and just about every deck has a copy of Azure Drake in it. Alright, here we go. A 5 mana, 4/5 legendary. Nexus Champion Sarad. Inspire, add a random spell to your hand. It's a 5 mana, 4/5. Not the greatest. and every time you use your hero power, you get a spell. A random spell, so it could be any spell. I don't see it being that great. It's too much RNG. My luck, I'll be playing it, and I don't know, I'll be playing druid or something. I never play druid, but I'm just using it as an example. I'll play druid and I'll get like a fucking deadly poison or some shit. So yeah, I don't think so. Then we have a big boy here, a 9 mana, 9/7 North Sea Kraken. It's got a battle cry of deal 4 damage. So even though this gets immediately beat up by Big Game Hunter, if it doesn't get big gamed, it probably will trade 3 for 1, because the 4 damage battle cry is enough to kill out 1 creature, and then you most likely will have to put in at least 2 creatures to fucking do the 7 damage. So 3 for 1, yeah. And this is going to be an excellent card in Arena. Just excellent. It probably won't see much constructed play because for 9 mana, you know, people want to run legendaries. People would rather have a Ysera for 9 mana. But otherwise, it's amazing that it's also common too. So you won't have to. This is a good chance that you'll get it in Arena, instead of like a legendary, which you see, I don't know, once every like 10-20 arenas or some shit. Then we have a rogue card, Poisoned Blade. 1 mana, 4 mana, 1 attack, 3 health weapon. This is, I have mixed emotions on this. I mean, I like that it has the 3 durability. I like that your hero power gives it +1 attack. What I don't like is the price, because the price is not right on this. There's just so much shit out there that's gonna fucking destroy this. I wish it was a little bit cheaper. Even if they made it a 3 mana card. If they made it a 3 mana card, I would play it. I don't know so much about the 4 mana card, because think about it. For 5 mana, you can get the Assassin's Blade. So this is probably only going to be good if you can get that card that fucking you can use your hero power twice a turn. And then we have a beast for the druid. So the druid beast stream, it's coming. It's a 4 mana card. So yeah, inspire is give your hero +2 attack this turn. So 4 mana, 5/4, which it's not horrible stats, you know. So just imagine this: they play the beast, and then they could play this turn 4, and then if it survives, turn 5 they could play the Druid of the Fang and get that 7/7 that every druid loves to get, or they could play the what the fuck is it? Druid of the Fang, not the Druid of the Fang, Druid of the Claw, sorry, and get that 4/6 taunt, and then just keep inspiring, and your hero gets a ridiculous attack. I don't know. Then we have a rogue card, Shadow Pan Cavalry. 5 mana, 3/7, and if you combo it, it gets +3 attack. So it basically becomes a 5 mana Boulder Fist Ogre, which is very good. Very good, because the Boulder Fist Ogre is what, 6 mana? So for 5 mana, you get a 6/7. Shit, I'll take that. Rogues need all the help they can get, because they only have that one deck style right now, the Oil Rogue, and it's just, I'm not feeling it. And then we have this card, which is going to be like on every Christmas card, Silent Night. It's got a 3 mana, 2/2, Stealth, and Divine Shield. So this is going to be an excellent card for people who have buffs, like a lot of classes that have buffs. Like I could just imagine this getting played in Paladin. You know, they play this on turn 3, then turn 4 they kings it, and then they got a 6/6 Stealth, Divine Shield. So other than that, it seems about average, because I mean, Shielded Minibot is a 2 mana 2/2, but it doesn't have stealth. So the stealth factor, you know, seems to add an extra cost to it. Overall, it seems like an average card. I could see it fitting in a few decks in Constructed. Very, very few. Like Priest or something. Priest and Paladin. That's all I really see it fitting in too. Possibly Druid. Possibly Druid. Because those are the classes that could like really buff up a creature. In Arena, it'd probably be like an average card. And well, it's in the common slot, so it depends on what's next to it. Alright, here we go. We have a 3 mana 3/3 Silverhand Regent. Inspire is summon a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit. And from the color of the card, this looks to be a neutral, which is very weird. I don't know if it's just me or if this is actually going to be a neutral card that every class will be able to use. Because if so, you know, there are some classes that can use the 1/1 recruit. Like especially if you're hero, a class that your hero power doesn't do damage. Just let's say the shaman. The shaman plays this, and the hero power. Not only do they get the 1/1, but they get the random totem. So yeah, it could help out the shamans a lot. Could help out a bunch of other classes too. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Like this card will actually go crazy in Warrior, because all Warriors do right now is just armor up, armor up, armor up. And then imagine playing this with an armor smith, and then armoring up, and then your opponent keeps attacking them, and I don't know, it's just going to be like a lot of armor. And then we have a 7 mana 4/6 card with a charge, and it costs 1 less for each friendly pirate. So I'm glad Blizzard is listening to us and adding pirates, because I would love to play fucking pirate rogue, but there just simply aren't enough pirates. So we got Sky Captain Crag. Charge costs 1 less for each friendly pirate. So to get him to have value, you need to have at least 2 pirates on the board, because a 5 mana 4/6 charge is decent. Even if you just have 1 pirate, a 6 mana 4/6 charge, not too bad. Like the Argent Commander is a 6 mana 4/2 Divine Shield charge. So this has a lot more meat on his bones to deal with shit. And he has enough health to take out a lot of shit. Plus, he's a pirate on a parrot. How you not gonna like a pirate on a parrot? Then we got a mage card. The 3 mana 3/4 Spell Slinger. Add a random spell to each player's hand. So add a random spell card to each player's hand, and that's the battle cry. I don't really see it getting played that much. I really don't. Maybe in like a mage secret deck, if you play this and have like counter spell out. I don't know. Or if you have like a bunch of trogs out or something. I don't know. Let's keep going. I don't feel too enthusiastic about this. I wish they would have just made like a 3 mana 3/4. I don't know. Something. Draw a card. Spell damage. We got the Thunder Buff Valiant. A shaman card. 3/6. 5 mana 3/6. And it's Inspire. Give your totems +2 attack. It doesn't say until end of turn, so I don't know. But let's say you from what I understand so far, if you summon a totem, it would summon the totem and then it would give it +2 attack. So if you have a bunch of totems out, this is going to be good for you, and especially since they're adding new totems. They're adding a bunch of new totems, so combine that with this and then Bloodlust, and you have a dead opponent. Speaking of new totems, a 2 mana 3/4 Totem Golem. This is gonna like dominate all the 2-drops and a lot of the 3-drops also, because a 3/4 is usually a 3 mana card. So like the Spider Tank, it's a 3 mana 3/4, and this is gonna be 2 mana 3/4. It's definitely going to be worth the overload. It's usually a lot of things with shaman cards, it's not worth the overload, but this is worth the overload because you go first, you coin this out, and boom, whatever your opponent plays is automatically dead. Right? I don't think there's any 1-drop. Wait, no, not first. You go second, you coin this out. I don't think there's any 1-drop that can survive 3 damage. Oh wait, no, there is the what the fuck is it? The shield bearer, sorry. But that can attack. Next, what do we got? The Tournament Medic. 4 mana, 1/8. Restore 2 health to your hero is the Inspire. So this is a lot like the Mogasham Warden, except it heals you. So this could probably work in a hero card, and not a hero, a priest deck very well, because they could play something, and then instead of having to worry about healing themselves, they could just heal minions as long as this is alive, because this has enough health that it could take a bunch of hits. And then if you combine that with like the Light Warden and like the Holy Champion, you know, you heal a minion and then that gets healed and then you get healed, so it'd be buffing up their creatures crazy, and then they need to switch their focus of attack from the Tournament Medic down to the Light Warden, which is now like a 5/7 creature or something. Alright, here we go. We have another shaman card, Tuskar Totemic, and its battle cry is summon any random totem, which is good because it could summon a Manatide or the healing totem or whatever. So it's 3 mana, 3/2, and it summons a totem. So I guess it's okay depending on what totem you get. If you consider up the value, the cost of everything, you're getting like 5 mana cost worth of stuff for 3 mana. So it's okay. Not great, but it's okay. All depending on what totem you get. Like, it would be epic if you play this and then get the fucking Totem Golem, and then get a 3/2 and a 3/4 for 3 mana. That would be good. And then I believe this is our last card. We have, I believe this is the only class legendary to be released so far, and it's Wilfred Fizzlebang. And he's a warlock legendary. It's a 6 mana 4/4. So he's a little expensive. Well, not little, he's very expensive. And he's very weak for the mana cost. But his ability, cards you draw from your hero power cost 0. That is very good. That is very good. But it all depends on how it goes. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, back when the Argent tournament came out in like World of Warcraft, Wilfred Fizzlebang was a master summoner, and he was supposed to summon a demon for someone to spar or fight or some shit, for someone to prove themselves. And he said, "Oh, I am a master summoner. I will summon this Doomguard." And yeah, he didn't summon a Doomguard. He summoned fucking Jaraxxus. And that's where Jaraxxus gets his ability from. Destroy your hero and replace it with Lord Jaraxxus. Because when Wilfred Fizzlebang summoned Jaraxxus, he fucking... exactly what the card says. Trifling gnome, your arrogance will be your undoing. Yeah, Jaraxxus fucking flattened him like a pancake. Alright, people. Let me know what you think. I did a review of all the cards that I know of so far. Like, comment, subscribe. Please, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Share it, retweet it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what videos you would want me to do, and I will do them. Okay, just leave a comment below. If you think I could change this, let me know. I'm open to any constructive criticism right now. Don't just send me a message saying, "Oh, you suck." You know, let me know what it is, and you know, I'll try and work it in. I'm trying to make everything better as I go on. I stream usually Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Let me know if you want to watch. Twitch.tv/NYC for Andy. Mention that you saw this, and I'll hook you up with devotion, which is my in-stream currency. So until next time, guys, this is NYC for Andy. Enjoy.